Take it. Oh shit, oh shit.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. I'm giving you a warning right up front. This video could be potentially considered graphic in nature. We're not doing it to show you graphic for the sensational element. I want to use this opportunity, what happened last December, while we entertain you, to also educate you a bit, because there was a lot of learning cues on this video. For any of you that follow the channel, you know I was involved in an accident during a shoot a while back. December 17th is the exact date, and I'll never forget that date because it was an impactful day. Like any other day, we went down to our buddy Dean's SoCal Classic Car Storage to shoot a video. It was our first time seeing this car or meeting the owner, Russ. And when he showed up, it was a knockout car. 64 Mercury Comet, beautiful metal work on this car. Hundreds of thousands of dollars spent building a 1,300 horsepower blown, gorgeous Mercury Comet.
People always say, so what did this cost you? I said 23 years, 208,000 and 2 wives. So I built the car on my own out of my garage, basically. This is a 632 Merlin big block Chevy with a 1471 BDS blower on it.
You're not going to the drag strip with this thing.
No, it's too much grief has been put into this to make this happen, to put it into a wall or do something stupid.
So in the 23-year process, something that didn't stand out to me at the time of the interview is he said he had done his brakes about 17 years ago on this car. Now the car hasn't been driven much, but brake technology has changed dramatically over the last 17 years.
You know, I've got a couple things on my wish list. Probably should put bigger brakes on it at the time. You know, you got to remember 23 years ago, no one had, 700 horsepower Hellcats and, 1,000 horsepower to the rear wheels was what,
So we get all our beauty shots, we get all the B-roll, and we do our interview. Now it's time to go for our drive, where we're just doing casual rolling shots. Our roller shots are typically speed limit or close to it, nothing radical on our rollers. And so we get in a car that has harnesses, and I put on my lap belt, as does Russ. We're just doing casual driving, no big deal. Lap belt's just fine. Is it okay to put should I just leave the harnesses and sit against them?
Yeah, that's what I do. I just spread them apart.
I highly recommend going forward, you guys put on your harnesses. If you don't have harnesses, I highly recommend putting them on. Here we go, down the road, right? Time to get some nice, beautiful rolling shots of this gorgeous Mercury Comet. We pull up to our first stoplight, which is, I don't even know if it's a mile away from where we've left from. As soon as we pull up to the light, I remember Russ throwing the car, automatic transmission, throwing it into neutral, and tapping the accelerator. And he tells me the accelerator's sticking at a give or take at about 2,200 RPMs.
Is that not usually where it's in?
No,
Again, not one we really thought about. I've had an accelerator stick before. You kick it, you're all good, right? So we take off down the road, nice wide road, right? You got 3 lanes on each side. Really nice for cruising along, catching our rolling shots. We drive, give or take, it's about 1.5 miles, 2 miles max from where we started to where we do our turnaround. And as we pull into this area to turn around, we just start to drive, and I tell Russ, man, I smell a lot of brakes right now. He says, yeah, I've been having to ride them. Again, this is one of those times, you guys, and I'm trying to build it to the point. Ultimately, what I want to do while we entertain you here is I want to educate you, because we've all been in a lot of these scenarios before and nothing happened, like what happened on this day. So we drive down the road, another, quarter mile or so. We come up to a stoplight. So we pull up to the light. Car stops. Just like Russ said, he's fine, he's got brakes. Yeah, we smell brakes, but we're fine. It surges a little bit because that accelerator's sticking. And then This is what happens.
Oh shit, this brakes.
Really? Shit.
Hold on! Hold on! Oh shit, this brakes.
Really? Shit.
Hold on! Oh fuck. There's nowhere to go.
Fuck.
So we take off like we always do. He picks up a little bit of speed, 45 to 50 miles an hour. Except for now, we see a red light ahead with cars stopped, and Russ puts the brakes on. And then I hear him say, no brakes. I hear him say, no brakes, no brakes. He's pumping, he's trying to get brake. There is no brakes. We're looking ahead, there's a red light, there's cars stopped across 2 turn lanes, 3 straight lanes. And you'll notice Russ swerves to the left. His goal here is that those turn lanes are about to get a green arrow and he's going to float in behind them. They don't get the green arrow. Now you'll notice we swerve back to the right. All the while you'll notice definitely some sheer terror taking over my face, because now I'm looking ahead of me and I realize we've got a couple of seconds. Russ is definitely focused trying to figure out something, and the reality is now we've got, I don't know, a second or two before we're gonna hit cars. We're gonna hit stopped cars. And that's what happened, man. We, at about 45 miles per hour, we hit a minivan. We also lightly grazed off of another car. Because I was wearing the lap belt only, my face smacked the metal dashboard to the point where I left teeth marks and a dent in the metal dashboard. 4 new teeth later, about 30 stitches to put my blown up lip back together. Russ straight armed at the point of impact, natural response, and completely blew out his right elbow. I find it interesting that at the point of impact, both of us, just an unconscious reaction within our bodies, both of us turned our heads to the left and closed our eyes. I wish closing my eyes would have made it all go away, but it didn't. And that's what happened, man. It was a brutal car crash. There's a lot of damage to Russ's car. Between both of us, a lot of dollars in hospital bills. There's points that I learned from this that I hope we can pass on to you guys, because a lot of us, I promise you, don't even put the thought into this. If your car doesn't have harnesses, put them on there, man. I highly recommend it, even if it's a shoulder harness, just to give you something more than a lap belt that all it does is simply hold you, for the most part, in the seat. I highly recommend, whether or not you're 100% sure that your brakes work, I can't recommend enough, regularly tech inspecting your car. They do it every time people go out to autocross, track days, any form of performance driving. Cars are getting teched. Regularly tech your car. Even if you're not a mechanic like me, take it to the guy that built your car. Take it to one of your buddies. Get your car tech inspected. I highly recommend it. Another thing I recommend, it's a rare thing to see on a custom muscle car, is a handbrake. I can't recommend enough. Yeah, it doesn't look as cool on your center console, no question about it. A nice little button for a hydraulic e-brake. I can't recommend enough a grab brake right here. Had we had one, who knows, maybe we would have slowed up enough that the impact wouldn't have been as dramatic to either one of us, to the person that we hit, or to the vehicle that Russ took 23 years to build. So that's the bad, the skinny, the gnarly, the nasty of what happened here. The good news is, as you can tell, I've for the most part healed up. I'm gonna, for the rest of my life, feel like I have a fat lip. Feels like I got popped in the mouth a couple days ago. Dealing with back pain, but I trust that we'll get all the way through this and I'll get my back to 100%, but doing really good. Like, I ride my motorcycle, I'm active, I'm back out living my life. Russ is doing great. We saw Russ a couple months back. He came up here to the shop to hang out one day, and he's doing really great. You know, his arm, he had most of his mobility back, was doing physical therapy, doing well. So gratefully, both of us are gonna get about as close as you can get to a full recovery from this. The car, at some point, Russ is gonna revisit it. Right now, it's just, you know, it's all too close. He's got a lot of things going on in his personal life, so the car's been put on hold for now. But at some point, he's gonna rebuild that car, get it back on the road, and I look forward to, believe me, when it's ready to go, I will get in the car with Russ again. We will put our harnesses on. I know his brakes are gonna be great, and we're gonna have a super fun shoot with him, and we're gonna get to show you just what an extraordinary car this 64 Mercury Comet really is. The final thing I have for you is a massive thanks. If you've made it this far into the video, it means you probably like what we do and you probably regularly watch and support our channel. And me and all the guys genuinely appreciate it, especially given the difficult time it was we had to put together compilation videos because we couldn't shoot. We had to take a break completely from shooting. It was about a little over 2 months, mouth stuff and back stuff and da-da-da, all that, you know what I mean? So a massive, gigantic, authentic thanks from all of us guys to you for hanging out, watching what we do, continuing to support, continuing to help us grow this channel. Just appreciate you guys like I can't even express. Thank you, and I will see you in the next episode. All right, man, later.